Hello, this is Group 8. I will do a presentation. Our PowerPoint will discuss the following three questions. The first is, what is the self? The second is, how does the self relate to perceptions? The third is, why it's important to understand the link between the self and perception within the field of the consumer behaviors. In this sense, James asserts that the self is the fundamental concept of psychology and that everything else revolves around it. Self, also known as self-consciousness or self-concept, is an individual condition of its existent state, including its physiological state, psychological state, interpersonal relationship, and social role. As an interesting topic, self crosses the spectrum of psychology and occupies an important position in social, personality, cognitive, neuroscience, neuropsychology, developmental, clinical, cross-cultural, and other subfields. Different people's understanding of their perception is the understanding of different consumers' consumption behavior. The self relates to perception that includes three dimensions. First, the emotional link. Second, the joy of life. Third, the search for character. The first is the emotional link. In the CTS is 1, the author in childhood favorite emotion on sports car, and then the car toy model obtained the satisfaction, and this toy model very serious and cherished. In this article, the author in the self and the property has been very deep emotional links. Second, in the article 20 of the dataset, the writer's pet dog abused the most important property with her for many years. Unlike other property, Abu as an only life of the property gives the author a lot accompanied by physical and spiritual comfort. The author said that the dog has brought a great sense of security. This enabled the author, who was insecure since childhood, to become more cheerful and get along with people better. The author would even exaggerate that Abu was a gift from the God, which saved my life. In this article, it's not difficult to see that self and property can be closely linked through emotion. Third, in addition, the fifth and the 46th, the chapter of the data set will also express emotional link between the living property of the pet dog and the author's self. In the data set 26 and 42, express the importance of emotional link to self and property by linking the pet cat and the author's emotions. In class data set 3, a small cereal given to her by her boyfriend enabled her to find the joy of life during the lonely epidemic, such as playing exciting pieces of music to wake herself up when she was in a low mood, and playing a smooth pieces of music to stabilize herself when she was concentrating on work. This stereo sound, different from the cell phone, helps her to enhance the entertainment atmosphere, add a lot of fun in life. In the 11th article of the class data set, the author's love of short video software can also be seen. The author can choose his favorite video to relax and cure his mood, and share his favorite video with his friends to meet his social needs and make short video become a seasoning in his lonely life. This joy in life transforms self and perceptions into the most important meaning in ordinary life. In the second sentence of the CDS, the author liked most Japanese director Hayao Miyazaki's animation works. From childhood to now, over again to revisit the classics works, so that the author has a different feeling when he watched them. For example, the hero of the work makes the author understanding the good and brave, human and nature, such as war and peace. In contrast to the hero in the work, the author also encouraged and reflected himself in the growth and improved the exploration of his own personality and pursued the future life goals. Second, in the 40th sentences of the dataset, the author has been fond of collecting ancient coins since his childhood and has not given up this hobby in his grow-up until now. As he grew up collecting ancient coins, the author acquired a lot of historical knowledge, which is why he still loves historical knowledge. Third, in these two topical Data says the author explores his own personality through the property. Based on these three themes, we can understand how the self related to processions. In the field of the consumer behavior, it's important to understand the relationship between individual and the property. For marketers, understanding this relationship helps to identify the consumer's needs and preference to help companies develop appropriate marketing strategy and new products to influence consumer behavior and decisions. In addition to this, perception helps people to conceive and formulate different selves. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the needs are physical, food and clothing, safety, job security, social friendship, respect, and self-actualization. Maslow believed that the lower hierarchy of needs, the greater the power and the greater potential. As the level of the need rises, the power of the need dimensions accordingly. Before the higher needs can emerge, lower needs must be met. Through continuous social and economic development, most people's physical and security needs has been met. Individual need for socialization, self-respect, and fulfillment has become more intense. This is like the relationship between the self and perception as mentioned in bulk. People's choice of possessions and the good of possession have to define their lifestyles, good actualization, and perceived personalities. Possession reflect and to some extent a person's pursuit and preference. Possession helps people to conceive and formulate different selves. We have selected three themes in the CDS. In the theme Emotional Link, for example, sentence 1 in the CDS, he gives the Lego car, which is based on a real car, a spiritual and emotional dimension. In his eyes, his fondness for his toy car is consistent with a real dream on car on the road. At the same time as he put the Lego car together, he watches it from the pile of the bits and pieces to a finished product. He gains a sense of satisfaction and happiness. In the film Joy of Life, for example, the sentence 3 in CDS, a girl received a portable Bluetooth stereo as a gift from her boyfriend. This stereo has brought a lot of fun to her life and had helped her not to feel lonely. A big reason for this is that the gift was given to her by her favorite boyfriend. Her love for him extends to his gifts. In addition to this, it also influenced his choice to a brand to follow. She feels very happy and joyful with the JBL brand, and her next Bluetooth speaker will be more likely to choose JBL and create loyalty to a JBL brand. In the film Search of Character, for example, sentence 2 in CDS, his favorite property in the Hayao Miyazaki animation. As he watches, he makes association with self and society. This type of film influences his behavior and even purchase decisions on the spiritual and values level. For example, when the film shows the idea of environmental protection, once he identifies with these ideas, he will tend to prefer environmentally friendly products when buying other products. This influence will be long-lasting.